Hullbreaker Horror. Oh, that's too bad, opponent. Imagine having a card that can be countered. Hello YouTube, welcome to this fine day. Today we are going to have a look at Hinata Dawncrown in Historic Brawl. This deck aims to win by controlling the board with a JESKAI control shell and then playing Hinata and reducing the cost of our cards by a ton. So, Hinata Dawncrown says, spells you cast cost one less to target for each target, and then the opponent gets the inverse effect of spells your opponent's cast cost one more to cast for each target. And the target doesn't need to be on the field, it is any target. So, if we look at a few examples, Blue Sun Zenith targets a player, so that gets reduced by 1. Censor targets a spell on the stack, gets reduced by 1. Basically all these counterspells get reduced by 1 for each target though. So now we go up the ladder here. The explosion part on Expansion Explosion targets any target with the damage part and then targets a player, so that gets reduced by 2. Now we're getting into the real spicy territory, right? Baral's expertise targets 3 things, so it's just double blue, bounce 3 things, and cast something for 4 from your hand. Ooh, and then the mighty things here that we can do. Concept or Sundering gets reduced by 2. Sublime Epiphany always, well, basically 99% of the time gets reduced by 4. Why is that? So we're using this to counter a spell. It's countering the spell, target spell. Then, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Usually, even if the opponent doesn't play through the board, we can usually target a mana rock, so that's 2. Now, create a token of a copy of target creature you control. Guess what? We can copy our commander and then just let the copy die to the legend rule. But it's the target, so that's 3. And then we, the player, are the 4th target. And yeah, Sublime Epiphany is a 2-mana counterspell with a draw card, and it is insane. Similarly, Magma Opus usually gets reduced by a lot, up to it can cost as low as 2 mana in the deck, because we can divide the 4 damage between 4 targets in total, 1 in Hinata if we need an additional target, or like 1 to their phase, 1 to Hinata, 1 to our phase, right? And so we only need 1 additional for that, like if you're really desperate. And then you tap 2 lands, and then voila, you have your 2-mana Magma Opus with that. March of Swirling Mist also, so, like, the X targets basically removes the X. So this is 1 blue to phase any number of creatures out. Can be the opponent's one as well. So if they're attacking for lethal, okay, just phase a couple of them out, just block one of them with Hinata, you're good to go. And yeah, this deck just reduces the costs of everything by so much once it's in play. And I mean, similarly, the opponent has a really hard time in counterspell wars and so on and so forth, right? Because they're just constantly targeting things that cost 1 more and 1 more and 1 more. So that is really great. Basically, the deck consists of a bunch of counterspells. We have a few spicier ones with Lofty Denial, because Hinata is a flying creature. So this is a 1 mana counter something unless they pay 4, so it's still very relevant in the late game. We have a Mox Ember because a lot of our things get reduced to 1 mana and we want to play Hinata as early as possible, and this provides us additional protection. Lightning Bolts, Fateful Absences for removal. We only play board wipes that wipe the board, and like we really don't play that many hard board wipes, or like no hard board wipes at all, kinda. Well, except maybe Settle the Wreckage and River's Rebuke, because we want Hinata to stay on the field, so we're playing stuff like Anger of the Gods, Sweltering Suns. You know, Hinata has 4 toughness, so that is pretty great. Settle the Wreckage only wipes their board, River's Rebuke only wipes their board, right? So we're kind of soft on like to just go white strategies, as opposed to like the classic JESKAI / Azorius control shell, where they have like these huge big board wipes. But I think it is going to be manageable. One more thing I want to add is there are a lot of good cards, or like cards that read well with Hinata, but just something can, like, just because something can do something, I don't think you should do it. So I usually don't do this here, but a card that I see a lot of people with play is Crackle with Power. Actually, one of the few cards I don't own. So with Crackle with Power, it's basically removing an X, right? So this is red, XX, and it deals 5 times X damage to each of the 5 target creatures. And I think that is still too much mana for... The big problem is, if you are paying 1x for this, you're paying 4 mana for 5 damage to 1 target only. And I think that is just too few things to do. And then with 6 mana, you're dealing 10 to 2 targets, and that at that point, one of them probably has to go face, right? So you're removing one thing only. But for this to actually kill the opponent, you still need to sink in way too much mana. There is also the Meteor Swarm. And this is basically just triple red, but I think just triple red is a bit too expensive. So yeah, this is basically my Hinata Dawn-Crown deck. Just discussing some of the popular choices also that I have decided to exclude. Let me tell me in the comments what you think about this kind of thing, where I again just talk about the cards that I also excluded. I think that is a pretty interesting topic to touch on. Yeah, if you enjoy this kind of content, just leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, all the fun stuff. And yeah, let's jump right into some cool JESKAI gameplay with Hinata. We are ready to play against Bolas the Ravager. And this is not a very great hand for the mirror match. No, not mirror match, for the like control matchups. But the blue Sun Zenith is pretty appealing for a deck that wants to go 1-for-1 with my threats. Like they want to 1-for-1 me in value, so I'm just saying no to that by just like they usually don't play super big draw engines is where I'm getting at. Okay, probably just Clifftop Retreat into Arcane Signet, trying to ramp a bit. I'm currently thinking if it's correct to just discard this Time Warp or maybe a land to the Bolas coming into play. Oh, they're just attacking. Interesting. Oh, they're missing blue for this. Oh yeah. Well, that's pretty good for us. I'm just shocking this in so I have like Disallow and Wash Away up. But I want to play Hinata when I have a bit more mana and like the Sajiri's Shelter to back it up. I'm going to play the Time Warp on turn 5 on curve probably, just to have like the additional land drop with Hinata here. Yeah, Time Warp. And if they decide to counter that's fine. Oh yeah. I again, yeah, they don't have something to counter it, right? So yeah. I think I'm just going to value making my land drops here with the blue Sun Zenith. And I'm going to phase out the Hinata with the March of Swirling Mists. Yeah. Because they're a very likely to have a kill spell here. Oh, well, I mean, I guess. Man, opponent, don't... Can you... Wait, where is the blue coming? Oh, it's from the Thriving Moor. Okay. They minus on Hinata now, I'm just phasing it out. Yep.
Dream of me.
Submit 0, pay 1, yes. Yep, and now I can swing in at Ashiok and kill it. That's pretty great. Okay, interesting. I feel like...
I will be safe.
Yeah, I'm going to crack this. I want to hit every single land drop right now, right? And I'm even so desperate to just do this. And this is exactly what I wanted. Yeah, perfect, perfect. Just a blue land drop is what I want to hit here. Okay. I'm feeling extremely confident here. I can't wash away plus Disallow. I just don't have enough blue sources for that. But that is pretty fine, honestly. If they Nicobolas and I Disallow, they can't really do anything else with that. Okay, and they just surrender. Yeah. That was a game for sure. Yeah, Hinata can be extremely annoying to deal with. GG. We are ready to play against Jacob Hawken. I don't think this is the kind of hand we want in this matchup. And Hullbreaker Horror used to have some relevant line of text, can't be countered. But maybe I just keep this. Not sure if I'm supposed to. Kind of like Swords to Plowshares here. Snarl, Revealing, Hollowed Fountain. And if they play Jacob, I'm just going to Swords to Plowshare it. Yeah. Just remove it, and then next time they try to play it, I'm just countering it. Pretty great. Yep. Let's see. Kind of want to draw. Oh, this is brutal. They were relying on Jacob to stay on the field and then filter their lands, which I think is a reasonable play, but yeah, now they're in land top deck mode. Yeah, just pass turn. As long as I make my land drops, I can relax a bit. I have a counterspell with this expansion. I can basically copy their counterspell if they try anything funny by copying it and then turning it against itself. I want another blue source though. Tome. Yeah, that sadly has to resolve. Oh yeah, there is the blue source obviously coming in tapped. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass the turn. This Lofty Denial doesn't even counter the commander right now, but I mean, they don't know that. So. Okay. I really have to lean heavily into this Hullbreaker Horror to carry me. They're generating a lot of value here. Okay. Dark Ritual. Sure. I can... No, everything here costs double blue. I was thinking maybe I just expansion the Dark Ritual and then do some cool stuff, but nope. And now, like, they did it this way to keep up Counterspell with Jacob here. Oh man, mana base is not nice to me right now. Okay. Let's just play Hinata, I guess. Then I'm going to expansion their Counterspell, and then I have the Lofty Denial up. Okay. What do you want to do, opponent? Memory Lapse? Sure, I'm just going to Memory Lapse your Memory Lapse. Yep. Go back from where you came from. See ya. And now I have the Lofty Denial. Now it goes from 2 mana, pay 1 to 1 mana, pay 4. Because Hinata is flying. That is pretty great. I can use the concept. Like I'm not too worried right now that Jacob Hawken flips into something absolutely mega busted, because like I have the bounce with the Sundering, and I can like retroactively, like I can just Rivers Rebuke the board, right? Like just all sorts of goodness. And also they can't flip it right now. They just don't have the mana, which is great. I want one additional blue source though. And I'm thinking maybe I want a Thassa's intervention for it, but I'm kind of scared that I'm just not hitting something. Oh, they counter it, right? It's kind of annoying. See, I think I just can't afford to do that, so I'm actually cycling the Mindstone here for a blue source. That's not a blue source. Swing in. Then we have some cool things to do here, right? If they flip Jacob and cast something for free, we can counter that with a Lofty Denial, which is great. Jacob, sure. Play, flip, sure. And then we can Temporal Sundering, gain an extra turn, and bounce the Jacob, basically for free. Hullbreaker Horror. Oh, that's too bad, opponent. Imagine having a card that can be countered. Too bad. Do they have a Pact of Negation? Oh, thought so. Because it would have cost them 1 mana to play a Pact there. Okay. Are we doing the Teferi now? Or do we... No, I think we're on the extra turn plan. The reason why this extra turn is so good here is because okay, they just surrender to that, but then we would have had additional blue mana to work with, and then we could have played Teferi plus, and then have like Thassa's intervention up while like, and just get an insane amount of value. Yeah, GG. We are ready to play against Teferi Time Reveler. That is not the nicest matchup for us, because we do want to play at instant speed in their turn. So we kind of need to make sure that their Teferi does not hit the field. And I think this hand is qualified to do exactly that. We're leading on the Snarl because that never comes into play untapped with our current hand. Yeah, let's Vantress. We can't counter a Search for Scanter anyways right now, and that's the only card I actually care about that they drop onto there. Yep. Do your thing. Settler Racket is kind of a dead card in this matchup. So I don't really think that they're just going to try to drop this Teferi. I would be highly surprised if they do. If they do, is it the Supreme Will or the Disdainful Stroke? I'm not sure. Otherwise, yeah. Okay, they're making more land drops here, Birth of Meletus. Sure. Does work. And I'm just going to Supreme Will here to dig deeper into the deck because I have the Absence and the Disdainful Stroke to deal with their commander. Memory Lapse, sure. Luckily I already have the land drop in hand, so we're just passing the turn. One really cool thing I can do is, if I have 5 mana, they put their Teferi Time Raveler on the stack to try to remove my Hinata. And in response to them putting it onto the stack, I can phase my Hinata out. And then I can basically guarantee to hit this Teferi. Does die from that though, that is a problem. They uptick it. Like, that's actually a real problem, right? Yep. Search for more things, more stuff to do the things I want to do. Let's see. Let's see. I want to get some big draw spells. Yeah. And land drops, I guess. Okay. I think it's just a land drop. And if it's a land drop, I think we don't need double white. Like, I know I have a Settle the Wreckage, but I think we don't need double white. Yep. We can... Like, we can use this, we could, in theory, use this to, bounce their commander at instant speed. So that is pretty great. Sure. I'm just going to Disdainful Stroke that. Yep. And I'm going to play Hinata here. Do they have the 1 mana counter? They do have the 1 mana counter. Sure. Put it into the zone. And now they're like, haha, I top deck a land, I play my Teferi, I'm happy. Oh no, they don't do that. Interesting. They're playing it safe. And you know what? It is really good here. That is really good here. You absolute mad lad. Those are the exact kind of cards you want in this matchup, don't you? 1, 2, 3, bounce everything to hand. Just slow them down a ton. Counterspell, that's fine if that baits a counterspell. The reason why we can't just get away with letting this Teferi resolve is because of a Fateful Absence in hand. Okay, that doesn't do anything really. Well, it gives them 2/2s, but... Like, Settle Wreckage is actively really bad because I'd rather have let them have the 1/1s. Honestly. Okay, we are in trouble.
Keep up the pace.
You know what? I'm going to start on this Anger of the Gods in hopes that they counter that for some reason. But I don't think we can do anything against this. Their commander is just so threatening against our game plan. It's not even funny. Anger of the Gods, removing the Ravens. Okay, and they have so much mana. I'm just going to pass to the end step, and then they're going to activate the castle. And then I'm going to Fateful Absence this 5 mana Teferi. That's pretty good. Yeah, I need to get rid of the Contra engine here. I should. I'm just. I don't know what they had in hand that they decided to discard the Sphinx's Revelation to this key.
I'll have a better plan next
Because
time.
this is okay. They grabbed the Counterspell and discarded the Sphinx's Rev. I know that because this Counterspell does have the Alchemy set symbol on it. That's how you know that they grabbed it off the archive. Key to the archive. Teferi slows the sunset. Yeah, just... They're getting all the Planeswalkers right now, and that is my downfall.
The next few moments. Exciting.
Very interesting. They also have a manland. Well, not a manland, but like a land that can just give them a value right now, and I don't. Like, I have to just jam this and let it get countered because I don't have any other place. Okay. Jam this and let it get removed because I don't have any other place. Yep, pay 1, boom. Yep. And phase it not out. Now it's also safe from Sorcery Speed board wipes. But we will see. We will see. Elspeth's Conqueror's Death, that's interesting. You know how phasing works, opponent. Apparently not. Oopsie. The problem is this Elspeth's Conqueror's Death can just bring back one of the... Wait! Ah, they're... Okay, I see why they're minusing, because I can just attack it. But then the Elspeth's Conqueror's Death brings back the Fairy Hero of the... Oh! Dominaria? Reconstruct history. Submit 0. Submit 0. We will search for... Do we Fateful Absence or Supreme Will? I feel like I want a Supreme Will. Baral's Expertise. Yeah. And then the grand idea is to use Baral's Expertise, bounce their mana, and yeah. Okay. Couldn't have done anything there. Unfortunate. Oh wait, I do have the Castle of Antris, by the way. I was lying, apparently. I do have a land that generates me value. But they have a better land that generates a value, at least right now. Just going to swing in. If they take the time to swing in with the Hall of the Storm Giants, I'm going to settle wreckage that. And if not, I'm going to activate the Castle of Antris. Okay. Oh, no, I'm not going to settle wreckage that. I forgot. No, whoops. Oh well. Unraveler of Secrets, I assume bouncing my Hinata.
We'll make this look easy. I think I know what to do.
Oh wait, settle. So as long as Hinata was in play, I could have settled actually, just because of the reason that Hinata reduces settle by 1 mana. That's pretty interesting. Time Raveler. Oh yeah. Now settle doesn't work anymore anyways. I don't have enough mana to do the Sundering plus Hinata in the same turn. That's why I think I should bottom it.
I'm known for my excellent timing.
And they're bouncing the Elspeth's Conqueror's Death. Good play. I agree. Good play. And let's bounce. I mean, it's sure just the red. Yep. I just don't think I can do anything here. With the Elspeth's Conqueror's Death, removing my commander, with the Jace Unraveler of Secrets, repeatedly bouncing it. But I am not surrendering simply because of the reason there is still a very much non-zero chance of winning this game. Because
I know who I am.
I can just top deck something like a Hullbreaker or like a big draw spell, and they maybe don't have a counter spell because like they're just digging, they're not keeping on top here. Let this Hinata resolve. Okay, sure, they bounce it with... Oh, okay. Bit greedy, but respectable. Okay, 2-hand. Plussing to Fairy Time Reveler.
I'll protect you.
And Guardian Idol, sure. Now they're just producing a ton of sharks. This is getting problematic. I guess it's fine. Yeah, pass turn. Rolling Wilds cracking. Everything's reasonable so far. They're making a token of the cost Ardenvale, sure. I really don't want to give them the more mana, but I feel like they have an infinite amount of mana anyways. Oh wait, what? Oh, I just
From the world any longer.
I just passed up the trigger there. Oh yeah. I wanted to disallow that. Yeah. Not good. That, yeah, okay. Cry, sure. And I can't really like pressure this in combat as well.
Trust me, I have a plan.
I'm just blocking here, don't I? Sure, no need to settle yet. I crush the horde. Sure. Oh! I forgot. I didn't pass up the disallow trigger. Because the whole reason why this matchup is not great for me is because the fire time level I can't cast spells during my opponent's turn anyways. Oh man. Yeah, so that was kind of an oopsie. Time warp, extra turn with some additional value because I can use my cold steel heart here. Squeeze that in between. Torrential Gear Hulk, more like Torrential Nope Hulk. Oh, yeah, no. What would that bring you back even? Yeah, no. Discover the formula. Absolutely not. Okay. Extra turn. Boom. Can't even play Hinata. Oh my god. Sure. I have to play this Cold Start now, right? Don't have any other plays. These two just are not cards while Teferi Time Raveler is in play. I'm currently thinking that there is a single top deck that can help me here, but I'm dying on the board in 3 turns. In 2. By dying on the board in 2 turns. Because of Hall of Storm Giants, Guardian Idol alone, and then additional damage from Arden Veil and Shark Typhoon triggers.
Let's try this.
And then I'm also like, yeah, Chandra wouldn't even help me whatsoever. Yeah, I think I can pack it up. Amazing game though. GG. We are done with the games. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. And yeah, Hinata Downcrowned is definitely a super fun and exciting new JESKAI commander. Yeah, it's super fun to build around, super fun to play, just amazing. And I just love the fact that they're printing more and more JESKAI commanders, right? So, Hinata is a control deck that is a bit soft to Azorius control specifically, or just like because she doesn't win the game on her own, she needs a bit of support, whereas something like 4-mana Teferi can just block off other control decks, right? But Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, is usually the traditional commander for that kind of deck, and he can win the game on his own if you just let him go like unchecked, whereas Hinata's strategy is to just maybe beat face and not much else, right? It's really pretty easy to deal with in that kind of scenario, and you need to draw your draw engines, whereas Teferi, Hero of the Dominaria, is your draw engine, right? So that is the downside to that. The upside, however, is that you can do some extremely degenerate things, and these things are like you can swing out like around the game and just shut off the whole game extremely quickly, like just like that, basically. So yeah, that is the big upside of Hinata, and I think it is worth exploring that space. Again, there are some cards that I don't play that are really popular. Another card is, for example, Mass Manipulation, which I think is still pretty expensive, especially since it is 4 blue, and that is like, we're a 3-color deck, so 4 blue is really a lot, right? So yeah, that's why I'm not playing that card. If you want to play this deck on a budget, however, what can you cut? What do you need? And from all the cards, as you can see, these are your commons and uncommons, and they're pretty great and fine and dandy, but overall the deck will cost you a bunch of wildcards. So the thing here is, Like, the really good cards are your counterspells that could reduce to 1, right? Like, counterspell is not even the best counterspell in this deck. Something like a Tail's End or even a Memory Lapse is really, really great in this deck because at the end of the day, this just gets reduced to 1 with Hinata on the field, and that is just amazing. You don't have a lot of options for board wipes. Like, you could just play 4 mana board wipes that also kill Hinata to be better set up against creature strategies. So yeah, like, if you want to play those, sure, you're welcome, but if you want to play it like this, where you all board wipes, all like Hinata survives all your board wipes, then you need to craft these, and you don't have any options here. And like, this is this is certainly a really, really expensive deck. Also, like, you really need your mana base to work, right? The cards you cut first are something like Hall of Storm Gems, anything that's not color fixing necessarily, like Cast of Ventress you can cut, although it is like really, really good, but you need to fix your colors. And then you need your like payoffs, right? Because like, let's say you can't afford these like very exclusive cards, I want to call them, cards that are just like, oh, this is like pretty obscure, like March of Swirling Mists, right? Or Magma Opus is not played in a lot of decks either. Or like, I think you shouldn't play Sublime Epiphany in 99% of the decks that people usually play it in, right? These pretty niche cards, something like a Baral's Expertise, these I would usually craft last for the sake of collection building. But if you don't have them, what is the point of playing Hinata as your commander, right? And that is kind of the conundrum. Yeah, that's kind of the crux here, and it's kind of annoying. But if you enjoy just control decks in general, you probably have most of these cards, and if not, I would recommend starting out and crafting a different kind of control commander, because Hinata it's kind of a luxury, to be honest. Yeah, but overall, Hinata Dawncrowned, a really, really fun and exciting new JESKAI commander, and yeah, amazing card. Neon Dynasty is it is a really, really cool set, and I will see you guys in the next video.